The Fault in Our Stars is not merely a young adult romance novel. It is a deeply philosophical and emotional exploration of life, mortality, love, suffering, and meaning. Published in 2012, the novel tells the story of two teenagers living with cancer who fall in love while grappling with the inevitability of death. What distinguishes this novel from typical romantic narratives is its refusal to romanticize illness or provide comforting illusions. Instead, John Green presents a story that is honest, ironic, painful, tender, and profoundly human. The novel asks fundamental questions. How do we live when we know our lives will be short? Is it selfish to love when you know you will cause pain? Does a life need to be long to be meaningful? Through Hazel Grace Lancaster and Augustus Waters, Green explores the paradox of loving deeply in the shadow of inevitable loss. Chapter 1. Hazel Grace Lancaster, Living with an Expiration Date. The story is narrated by Hazel Grace Lancaster, a 16-year-old girl living with terminal cancer. Hazel suffers from thyroid cancer that has metastasized to her lungs, forcing her to rely on an oxygen tank to breathe. From the opening pages, Hazel establishes herself as an intelligent, sarcastic, and deeply introspective narrator. Hazel does not see herself as inspirational. She rejects the idea that cancer patients are heroic simply for being sick. Instead, she views her illness as a biological malfunction, tragic but not meaningful in itself. Hazel's mother worries about her daughter's depression and insists she attend a cancer support group, believing social interaction will improve Hazel's mental health. Hazel reluctantly agrees, though she considers the meetings absurd and performative. Hazel is acutely aware of her mortality. She believes she is a grenade, someone who will eventually explode and hurt everyone who gets close to her. Because of this belief, she keeps emotional distance from others, convinced that love would only cause unnecessary pain. Chapter 2. Support Group and the Arrival of Augustus Waters. Support group meetings take place in the basement of a church, a symbolic setting that contrasts faith with suffering and death. The group leader encourages participants to share their fears, but Hazel finds the meetings repetitive and hollow. It is here that Hazel meets Augustus Gus Waters, a 17-year-old cancer survivor who lost his right leg to osteosarcoma. Unlike Hazel, Augustus is charismatic, confident, and seemingly unafraid of death. He immediately stands out. Augustus's presence unsettles Hazel. He is attractive, witty, and openly interested in her. He challenges Hazel's cynical worldview with optimism and philosophical musings about heroism and legacy. Augustus carries an unlit cigarette in his mouth, explaining that it symbolizes placing the thing that kills you between your teeth, without giving it the power to kill you. This metaphor encapsulates his desire to control fear, rather than be controlled by it. Chapter 3. Friendship and Intellectual Connection. Hazel and Augustus quickly form a friendship built on honesty, humor, and shared understanding of illness. They talk openly about cancer, death, and fear without euphemisms. Hazel introduces Augustus to her favorite book, An Imperial Affliction, a novel about a girl with cancer that ends abruptly without resolution. The book resonates deeply with Hazel because it mirrors her own experience. Life does not provide closure. Augustus becomes obsessed with the book, particularly with its unanswered questions. He wants to know what happens to the characters after the novel ends, while Hazel accepts the uncertainty as a reflection of reality. Their bond grows through intellectual discussion rather than physical intimacy. Their conversations are thoughtful, self-aware, and emotionally raw. Chapter 4. Hazel's Fear of Loving. Despite her growing affection for Augustus, Hazel remains emotionally guarded. She believes that loving someone while terminally ill is irresponsible and cruel. Her fear is not of dying, but of causing pain to those she loves. Hazel articulates her fear clearly. She wants to minimize the damage she will inevitably cause. She compares herself to a grenade and tries to protect others by remaining distant. Augustus, however, rejects this logic. He believes that avoiding love is not a noble sacrifice, but a denial of life. Their differing philosophies create tension, but also deepen their connection. Chapter 5. Augustus Waters' Fear of Oblivion. Augustus's outward confidence masks a deeper insecurity, his fear of being forgotten. He wants his suffering to matter, to leave a mark on the world. Unlike Hazel, who accepts meaninglessness, Augustus seeks significance. He believes that pain must be acknowledged and remembered to have value. His desire for a grand narrative contrasts sharply with Hazel's quiet acceptance of life's randomness. This difference between them is crucial. Hazel wants to reduce harm. Augustus wants to maximize meaning. Chapter 6. Love emerges quietly. Despite Hazel's resistance, love grows naturally between them. Their relationship is not dramatic or impulsive, but gentle and sincere. They fall in love through shared moments, laughter, and mutual vulnerability. Their love is not portrayed as a cure or escape from illness. Cancer remains ever present, shaping their lives and choices. The novel emphasizes that love does not eliminate pain. It coexists with it. Chapter 7. The Author and the Dream of Amsterdam. Hazel reveals that the author of An Imperial Affliction, Peter van Houten, lives in Amsterdam. She has long dreamed of meeting him to ask about the novel's ending. Unexpectedly, Van Houten responds to Augustus's email and invites them to visit him. Hazel is overwhelmed. The trip seems impossible due to her fragile health. Through a combination of medical approval and the use of Augustus's genie, Wish, a benefit granted by a cancer foundation, Hazel is allowed to travel to Amsterdam. The trip symbolizes hope, closure, and the possibility of answers. Chapter 8. Amsterdam. Love at its peak. In Amsterdam, Hazel and Augustus experience moments of normalcy and joy. They explore the city, visit museums, and share intimate conversations. They visit the Anne Frank house, where Augustus delivers an emotional reflection on memory and suffering. Their relationship deepens, and they finally express their love openly. For a brief time, they live as if illness does not define them. These moments represent the height of their happiness. Chapter 9. Disillusionment with the author. The meeting with Peter van Houten is deeply disappointing. Instead of a wise, compassionate writer, they encounter a bitter, alcoholic man who refuses to provide answers. Van Houten explains that his daughter died of cancer, and that writing the novel was his way of coping. He rejects the idea that stories owe readers closure. This encounter forces Hazel to confront the reality that art does not exist to comfort us. Life, like literature, often ends without resolution. Chapter 10. The Truth About Augustus. After returning home, the truth emerges. Augustus's cancer has returned aggressively and is terminal. The roles reverse. Hazel becomes the caregiver. Augustus struggles with the loss of independence and the humiliation of physical decline. His fear of oblivion intensifies as his body fails him. Hazel witnesses the man she loves transform from confident and witty to vulnerable and frightened. Chapter 11. Decline and Suffering. Augustus's condition deteriorates rapidly. He experiences intense pain and emotional despair. He becomes angry, not at death, but at his inability to be extraordinary. One of the most devastating scenes involves Augustus's breakdown at a gas station, where he feels stripped of dignity and control. Hazel stays with him, demonstrating that love is not about idealized moments, but about endurance.